Okay, for those of you who don't know, one of my jobs was working in a factory, Western Digital, Kuching. Okay, my job history is I was in Cisco, 2 years in Cisco, and then I joined Western Digital for 14 years, and then Unimas, UCTS. But in between, I run my own company, training school plus a contractor. Okay. So we got a local vendor to make this dustbin. Okay, this dustbin. Okay, but the local vendor didn't do it very well. So this is a flat door. You can flip and throw your thing inside. So we need to throw garbage in this garbage bin because we make computer hard disk. Let me try to get a computer hard disk for you. Okay, this is the computer hard disk that we make. Okay. Maybe I should tell how the logic of this. We need to make it very, very smooth. Why? Because there's a head flying on this one. There's a head flying on this, and that head is a read-write head. Okay, so it can read the 1 and 0 on this. So how it does is there's tracks on this. Okay, so it goes one round and then another round, higher another round, higher another round, like that. Okay, and on what it reads is 1s and 0s. So they use a table. You know, I don't know if you remember your primary school. At the back of the book, there is a timetable. Like that, there's a table called ASCII 2. Okay, ASCII. Okay, so they use a table, and then that table will tell you, okay, okay. So the table will tell you things like that. Of course, this is not the correct one. I just say, okay, every 8 is one character or special character. This is an add number or character, okay? Every 8 is one. And then after the 8, there'll be a certain character to tell the computer this is the end of that, starting in the next one, okay? So that's how the computer hard disk works, okay? It's magnetic, okay? So the thing is that the head is flying over this at last I heard is about 3 micro inch. No, 1 inch is this. You know this one. That's why I still like the Imperial system, the old system. Inch is like that. Feet is your foot, and then yard is 1 step of yours. So you can relate to a human body, whereas the metric system is all arbitrary. You know, 1 meter is at a certain cold temperature in a lab somewhere in the world. That is 1 meter. Okay, so it's nothing to do with human. So the only one using the Imperial system now is the Americans. Even the British who invented it, they're not using it anymore. So the Americans are still using it, but about half lah. Okay, a lot of American industry have moved to metric, but construction generally is still using the Imperial with the feet and inches. Okay, in Malaysia, still people still like to use the feet and inches for construction. Okay, because you can roughly estimate because it's your body part. You see? That's 1 inch. 1 feet is your feet, and then 1 step is one yard. Okay, so people can easily feel. In America, they use 1 more. That looks about 1 football field. Okay, 1 football field distance. So they have things that you can relate to. Okay, So anyway, 1 inch is like that. So this is about 2 micro inch. The head is flying about 2 micro inch above. So it's flying is not suspended. You cannot suspend 2 micro inch. Yeah, 2 micro inch you definitely cannot see. So it is flying like an aeroplane. It has wings like an aeroplane and spoiler. At the back of some cars you see like that. That's to keep it down. So wings to bring it up, and then spoiler to keep it down. So it flies exactly at a certain height. Okay. But the problem is at 2 micro inch, a bit of defect on the disc will be like a giant mountain. So what we do in the factory is polish this one. We have a polisher. That's where I worked in the polish department. So we put this on a polisher. The polisher is this. Damn. All right. Okay. So it's like this. So we climb down. This is the top. It's 500 kilo here, 500 kilo here. Okay, 500 kilo. Remember. Okay, I'm 100 kilo. 5 of me, the weight of 5 of me. Okay. Okay. 5 of me weight is this one. Okay. So they push it down. This one, they put this disc. This disc is a circle here. You see the circle there? That's this disc. So you put that disc in this. They call it a carrier. Okay. And then this thing, the top platen will go down on it 500 kilo, and then in between, they will polish the disc. Okay. So they polish it so that it can as flat as possible. Okay. So that when the head is flying, it doesn't bump into anything. Okay. So the cycle time of one polishing cycle, okay, is about 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. 10 minutes one cycle. Okay. 10 minutes one cycle. Okay. So the person had to load this one in this. You must understand all this because then only you can get a full picture, okay, for your exam question and your assignment. Okay, remember your assignment is week 8 due. Okay, so this one had to be placed in this hole, this hole here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 3 discs in one carrier. Okay, had to be placed inside there. If it is placed slightly out, okay, slightly, you don't put it inside the hole properly. It's like that. Okay, because there's 168 discs. Okay. You see, I want to give you a real example of the iceberg principle. That's why I have to tell you this whole story, okay, of exactly what happened in the factory. Okay, because you can answer unreal one, which sometimes not complete story. So I tell you a real story so you can answer your assignment exam question. Okay, and also useful for your life. It's engineering. Okay, and who knows, maybe one day you'll work there. Okay. Okay, so So it's 10 minutes for one cycle of 168 days. That means at one time you load 168 days on this. Okay. And then you climb down with 500 a kilogram of weight, and then you polish it. Okay. So if one of this is not properly placed in the hole, there's a hole there, right? Instead of putting inside the hole, you put it slightly above the hole, it'll be a crash. That whole machine will crash, and it's very, very messy. Okay. I show you the cause of a crash. Okay. So, but of course, when I joined the factory, I joined the factory in 1995. Okay, much before you were born. Okay. So 1995, I joined the factory. Okay. I can touch, at least my department, the polishing department, I can touch all the chemicals. Okay. The other department, the department before me is called plating. Plating department, they cannot touch even those days. So what the plating department do, because this is aluminum, yeah. So they plate nickel phosphorus. Okay. Okay. So nickel phosphorus is plated on aluminum. Okay, the aluminum are called blanks. Okay, you plate nickel phosphorus. Plate means using electricity. I think I don't know if your teacher showed you plating. Due to the positive, negative, the metal, the nickel phosphorus metal will come to the aluminum and get stuck there. That's called plating. Okay, they plate where you can see the plating is like okay, especially motorbikes, high-end motorbikes. The expensive motorbike. You see that it's very silvery. That silvery is plated. Okay. Where else? Spoon. Spoon is plated. Okay. Iron doesn't look like it. It is plated. Plated. Steel. Okay. This, I think this is also plated. Okay. I don't think it's really like that all the way. Okay. So that's plating lah. Okay. So why do you plate nickel phosphorus? Because in the end, the final layer is magnet, right? The final layer is magnet. Okay. And the magnet is what gives you the 1 and 0, so your computer can work. Okay. So basically, how it works is okay. Okay, so this is how it works. So this is a track. I expand the track. Okay, so in the track, there are magnets north, south, all this lah, north, south. Okay, utara, selatan. Okay, So if a south and south is a one, north and north is a one, this south south is a one, north north is a one, but north south is a zero. Another north south here is zero. So that's how the hard disk works now. Okay. So it goes along the track. You can read the ones and zero, and every eight is one letter, character, blue color, or some instruction. Maybe one of the eight is okay. Print something on the screen. Okay. When I was doing my FYP long back, we actually had to count every single bits. Okay, how long this instruction will take. We actually count every single bits. Okay, okay, that's how long that loop of program will take. Okay, but nowadays people don't want to do that anymore. So because computers are more powerful, so they said now we don't bother with a small amount of bits. We just write a very big program, which if you use the low down program, the low down program is called assembly language. Okay, so the closest language to the ones and zero is called assembly language. So which is what I use when I was doing my FYP. Uh, say I use assembly language, you take maybe okay lah, this much to do something. A modern program like Word will take that much of lines to write the same thing. Okay, my assembly language only that much. Okay, so the advantage of assembly language is very fast. So critical things like uh, very high end stuff like rockets and things like that, where is the timing is very critical. They don't use the high level language. High level language are like Microsoft Word. I mean, it's not a language, but one of the example of high level is Python. Okay, Python is a bit high level. High level means it's not close to the one and zero. So they don't use Python for lifts because lift must stop. You cannot stop a bit later. Okay, then your lift already a bit down, and then the human are very hard to work out. Yeah, so they use the low level language to control machines like lift. Okay, because it must do immediately, cannot wait. Okay, of course, if you have a very fast computer, that solves the problem. Okay, even though your program is so big, assembly language like that, but because computer very fast, you can do that fast enough. Okay, okay. So basically, that's how the whole hard disk works now. You must understand that at least. Okay. Maybe you can put that in your assignment literature review. See, your assignment. Let me see. I think I send you now my own PhD thesis example. So you follow that format. Everything follow that format. Yeah. Let me show you. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I just send you a template. Uh, that is a template for my PhD, which is standard for all PhD, because I did my PhD in UNIMAS. So definitely all government universities in Malaysia use the same one, same template. That means you must follow everything, the font, the spacing, everything you follow exactly. So advantage that I give it to you now. Next time, if you want to do master's PhD, you can just use the same template. And you notice that the first few pages are Roman numerals. Remember the Roman numerals, 1, 2, 3. That's the Roman numerals. And then somewhere after page 10 or something, it's normal numerals. Okay. Okay. Or page number. Okay. That's how they design it. Okay. And then for the thesis, if you read through my template, it's like this. Okay. So you see, this is a standard abstract, introduction, literature review, and then methodology and results, and then conclusion, and then further work. Okay, how is design is they design this way for all research, mainly because they don't want you to start something totally new and start doing it. When you start on something, the first thing you do is this one, literature review. What's the meaning of that? You go and see what other people have done. You don't go and start something totally new and start working on it, because they don't want you to reinvent the wheel. People already make the wheel. You don't go and make a new wheel. You go and design a whole new wheel. There might be an advantage, I don't know, but don't reinvent the wheel. That's the meaning of it. Okay. I talked to a top scientist while I was studying in USA. He got so many awards. So he told me, you know what's his secret? Never reinvent the wheel. Okay. People already do. You're going to do A, B, C, D, F. People already do A, B, C. You use other people's A, B, C, and you put D, F. Okay. They'll shorten your time of doing the research. Okay. Don't ever reinvent the wheel. Okay. So that's the reason why you always start with literature review. Okay. You study what other people have done. It's not your work. So this is the only place you can write other people's thing, but don't copy and paste from internet lah. You know, copy and paste is illegal lah. It's against the law. I'm not sure if it's against the law in Malaysia, but in America it's definitely against the law. Okay, you can go to jail for copy and paste. Okay, I mean, you take a sentence. This is a dog. Change it lah. Okay, change a little bit. That's yours already. Okay, okay. This is a cat. That cat is mine. Okay, change it a little bit, and it's yours. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So abstract, literature review. Uh, Actually, if you look at my template, I send you methodology is one chapter and then research another chapter. But during my PhD, I find it so crazy. You write something here, and then 100 pages later, you have to write the results. And then there's no way, if you don't refer to the methodology, you cannot write the results properly. So I feel that's a bit crazy. So I think it's better methodology and results now. Okay, you put the method and then the results down. But for your case, not much lah. Okay, for your assignment. Okay, so basically you start with this one. Okay, you see it's quite upside down. You start with other people's work, okay, not your work, and then you put your method and your results, and then you do a conclusion, and then you do your further work. Okay, the further work, that means you have an idea this can be done, but you don't have time to do it. So let other people who read your work try it out. That's your further work. Okay, and the very final is abstract. So why is it this way? You see, the book, your thesis, is made for the reader. The reader will read this one. Interesting. Maybe I go to this one. This one interesting. I go to this one. Okay. The abstract is a one page. My own abstract, I think in my abstract I did send to you, is one page plus a bit. Even that bit, my boss was not happy. My supervisor for PhD, who is actually the dean of UCTS engineering. Okay, so I put one page plus a bit. That bit, my supervisor not happy. It should be just one page, even though my PhD thesis was 300 pages. He wanted abstract should be only one page. Okay, you should be able to get the gist in just one page. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I give you a brief idea of what we did in the factory and how the technology works, the hard disk. Okay. Now they are going, if you go to Delta Mall, they keep telling you, hey, you better get a SSD. SSD, I think you all know, right? SSD. Okay. This one is what we make is HDD. Okay. So what Western Digital Kuching? Okay. What Western Digital Kuching is making is the HDD. Okay. Now a lot of people are going for this. I never went for that. Okay. Every computer shop is recommending me to do that. SSD. Whenever I have a problem with the computer, I go to a computer shop. They say, no, you must get SSD. I said, no. Why? I'm from hard disk industry. I'm not going to support SSD when I'm from the hard disk industry, even though I've already out of the hard disk industry. I support hard disk industry. Okay. For example, this laptop I'm using is a university laptop. Okay. It's quite a high-end laptop. It's an i7 and all that. But it was very slow. At one time, I go to class because those days we had physical class, right? I on my laptop beginning of class, like say my class is 10 o'clock. 10:30 only start moving. Really that bad. Okay. So a lot of lecturers have the same issue. Okay. I just changed my hard disk. I went to Delta Mall. I said, no, you must get SSD. I said, no, lah. Slow means SSD. No, hard disk. I said hard disk only. I put hard disk inside here. Immediately work. Oh, I clicked straight away. Of course, lah, not immediate, lah, but good enough, lah. Just there's 1 minute maybe lah to start up. Okay, maybe 2 minutes lah. Okay, to start up, but it works. It's just a hard disk. You just change hard disk. Okay, you know why hard disk fail? I see lecturers in my building. My building is building 6. They walk with the laptop still on. They walk across the hallway. Yeah, style. Yeah, I sakit hati. I see all that. You know what's happening? This is a hard disk. It's a mechanical device. You got a head flying over. When you walk and shake, boom, 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 the head will fall. It's flying. The head will crash on the hard disk. Data gone. That's why it's slow. Okay. Later, the computer will try to use an intelligence AI inside there to try to recover whatever data is gone. Sometimes gone totally, but sometimes they try to retrieve it on the next round. Okay. But you see, a laptop with a hard disk, you should never shake it. Okay. So they said, yeah, get SSD lah. You can shake anytime you want. Like your handphone, you can shake, right? It's SSD. You can shake anytime you want. But the problem is the cost per byte. The cost per byte is so much cheaper for HDD. Okay, so much cheaper, and longevity. The longevity is way higher. I give you an example. I started my PhD in 2007. My laptop, which I bought to do my PhD, I still have it. It's still running. Okay, it's still running. I'm slow because actually I put the latest Windows operating system inside there, and it's designed for the old operating system, so it's pretty slow now. Okay, but it works. It still works. Okay. 2007 till now is what? 14 years. My laptop. Why? Because I'm from hard disk industry. I know you should never shake your laptop, and I always put a cooler. I built my own cooler. My cooler was destroyed, and then I modified it with a lot of extra fans, all that. And I never use the laptop USB to run my cooler. I have a separate power supply. Okay, separate power supply. Basically a handphone charger, the old handphone charger. I use it to power my cooler. Okay, so you must keep it cool, and you don't shake it. That's how your laptop survive, because you know how it works. Okay, a lot of people don't do this. I was in a plane one time, and then there's a lady next to me. She's from Google, from USA, from Google. Oh, she was in the plane. I said, hey, you can't do that. It's spoiled laptop. She's from Google, you don't know. Okay. If you know now most data is kept in the cloud, right? Okay. The cloud is all this one. They don't use SSD. Why? Because the cost per byte of this one is so much cheaper. SSD is terribly expensive. Okay, cost per byte is so much cheaper, and it can last forever, pretty much. You see, my laptop is 14 years. In a cloud, the data center. I think Malaysia. I don't know if we have any in Malaysia now, but most of the data center in US and other countries now. Okay. In the cloud, you keep it cool, aircon, and you never shake it. If my laptop can last 14 years. Imagine that perfect condition, how long it can last. Much, much longer. So of course, nobody in this, if they got a sane mind, will use SSD for cloud, because SSD damage very fast. It's just like your LED bulbs. You know, this bulb is an old bulb. Okay, it's the old bulb. It's an old bulb, right? Call it menthol, right? In my house, I have one of this, and most of the rest is either frozen tube or mostly now LED bulbs in my house. LED bulbs always fail. This one, my house is wow, 23 years old. My house is 23 years old. This one is still running. LED bulb in my front hall, you talk about months, sometimes 5 months, 6 months, okay, change, buy new one. And each time I buy is like 12 to 20, sometimes 24 ringgit or so, one. This one is like 1 ringgit 50 cent. See the prices over here. I think 1 ringgit to 2 ringgit lah. Okay. So some of the older technologies, they are far more lasting. Okay. And far more cheaper. So no one who's making a cloud will use the SSD. You know why? If you look at the bulbs, the LED bulbs, they're connected in series. So, for example, okay. So you got a LED showing a word hello. Sometimes you notice one whole section gone. Why? The LED bulbs are connected in series. Same thing for SSD. They're connected in series. Okay. So if one spoil, one whole section is gone. Same thing for solar panel also. You cover one portion of solar panel, one whole section is gone. Okay. Because they're connected in series. Okay. So that's the issue with this. I mean, most of this digital. I'm working on one project. One of my research projects is try to solve that problem. Okay, like the solar panel problem, where if you shadow on one panel, 5 panels gone. Okay, there is a solution for it, but I don't know. I saw a paper, they didn't accept it. I signed a paper to IEEE. So far, they didn't accept it yet. Anyway, my other papers will accept this one. I don't know why. Anyway, so you see that's the problem with this LED technology and SSD and solar panel. They're all the modern digital revolution. Okay, so okay, that's a brief idea of the factory of what it does. Okay. Okay. So now let me get back to the accident. So we have to do this, and then when you have to weigh gloves. You see, when I joined the factory, I can touch all chemicals. By the time I left, actually I didn't leave. The factory shut down. The history of the factory is it shut down in 2009, and then we all retrenched. Okay, and then the government, the Sarawak government, got Hitachi, another company, to buy the factory. And what happened is Western Digital bought the whole worldwide Hitachi hard disk division. So the Kuching factory is now back to Western Digital. Okay, right now it's running full swing as Western Digital. The name also changed back to Western Digital. Okay, so that's the history of the factory lah. Okay, so Uh, so by the time I left, you cannot touch any of the chemicals. Okay, even in my department. So you got to wear gloves. Leather glove, exactly the doctor's glove. Okay, the leather gloves. You can't use the two synthetic ones. One thing, the human cannot handle the synthetic one too long. Uh, Latex gloves are more suitable. Okay, for human to use for a long time. So the humans use glove to load the disc inside here, but of course they cannot wear the glove too long. Even though the room is cool, uh, your palms will get sweaty. You use the glove too long because you got to work for 12 hours shift. Yeah. So very frequently they take the glove out and throw it into the dustbin. Okay, they throw it into the dustbin. But we bought this from a vendor, local stainless steel vendor, but he didn't smoothen this portion here. It's a flat door, but he didn't smoothen this portion here. So when he throw inside there, it cut. So it just actually happened. The guy got cut in finger, small cut. Okay. So he went to supervisor, boss, I cannot work. I got small cut here. So that you see how we work is like this. Okay. So how it works like this. The first week, 3 days, 3 days off and 4 days off. 3 days off and 4 days on. The second week will be 4 days on and 3 days off. Okay. So maybe that guy happened to be on this second week. Okay. So he got a cut in the finger. So 3 days cannot work. Okay. So what happened? Okay. For one thing, we just make it simple lah. One machine cannot be operated. They won't do that, but they somehow squish another guy to do the work. But we assume lah, just one, because I think it's better you don't operate a machine. Okay. So one machine cannot operate. So what's the cost? Okay. 12-hour shift. 12-hour shift, 10 minutes per cycle. 10 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, let me show you. So one machine can operate. Okay, one machine can operate. So there's 2 hour shift, 3 days he cannot work. Okay, so in 1 hour, one 10 minutes one cycle, right? Okay, 10 minutes one cycle. Okay, so in 1 hour, you got 60 minutes over 10 equals 6 cycles. Okay, in 12-hour shift, it is 6 cycles times 12, 72 cycles. Okay, one cycle is 168 days. So 72 times 168 is this many days. Okay, one days is $2. Okay, so American dollars, huh? So this many days times $2 is $24,000. Okay, he's off for 3 days. No, cannot. He's off for make it one day lah. Okay, 24,000 gone already. I assume the machine don't work. The second day, the supervisor call. Supervisor is generally engineer lah, like me. Okay, so the supervisor call a replacement. What is a replacement? You see, you got 3, 4, and 3, 4, right? The off day people come back for OT. Okay, they make a lot of money. Okay, they make quite a lot of money lah, working OT because I know one guy whose basic salary is just about maybe 900 ringgit, but his take home salary is 6,000 because he worked OT every single day. And one day he took off. He said, sakit badan, tak tahan tak kerja. Okay, so I think that's not a good idea. You don't need to mix off. The sorry thing is, but that guy he died in an accident. I don't relate it to the work or not, but he died going to work. Okay, so I don't know if you need to work that hard to make money. It's better you don't you live without money. Okay, pretty much like me. Okay, I ride a motorbike. Where my petrol bill is 5 ringgit per week maximum. I've never used 5 ringgit per week, and because I only fuel my petrol once a week, and the most I ever fuel is 5 ringgit. Okay, if you put a bit more 5 ringgit overflow. Okay, and then eat very little. I'm vegetarian. I just give you an idea because I think the food prices are going up, so I give you an idea of how to live cheaply. I mean, I'm not a cheap guy. It's just that that's my food. I can't eat anything else. I can't eat meat. Okay, I can't eat fish. I cook rice in a rice cooker. Okay, I put last few days. I discovered the wrong last week. Before that, for most of the years in Cebu, I take a leaf from a tree outside the house. I don't know why that it's not my tree. It's a neighbor's tree. At first, it was just behind my house. It is a tree called Moringa. Okay. there's a tree called Moringa. So when I first moved into this house in Cebu, I found a tree behind my house. Wow, lucky, that's my food. Because in Kuching also I eat only that. Okay. I just put the leaves in the rice, together with the rice, and cook. I put a bit of salt and kunyit lah. Kunyit for health and then salt for taste. In the end, I put a bit of pepper. So most of my seafood life, I ate that only. Every day. Rice, bit of moringa leaf from the tree, and a bit of salt and kunyit. I'm 100 kilo. I'm trying to control my weight. Okay. Actually, I'm sorry to say I'm 105, I think. I don't know, because there's a weighing scale here, it says 105, but at home it says 110. You see, I'm eating that only. And some people say, hey, how can vegetarian should be very thin and small? Look at the elephant. It's not thin and small. Elephant is vegetarian. Okay. So you see, what's my cost of my food? It is very, very low. I hardly spend anything on food. Okay, I just buy rice only. That's it. Only thing I need. Okay. Recently, the tree behind here, someone chopped it off. I don't know why. You don't like me, chop it off. And then I was getting from a tree nearby, and that one also got chopped off. So I ran out of that tree leaves. So now I buy a bit of vegetable. So I discovered 2 weeks ago. I discovered terong, the yellow terong. I cut it, put it inside there, put some kangkong inside. I bought Monday because I come from weekend. I come back, so I bought. I want local veggie. I don't like the foreign veggie. So local veggie, kangkong. ₱2, so big packet. There's no way I can finish it. It's huge. From near the university, there's a new supermarket. Okay. So I told because this house, I rent other rooms to other people. I gave it to another person living in the house. I have half of it lah. So I mean, I'm telling you this because I know that food prices are increasing like crazy. Okay. So you should, there is a way out. And don't think, that's the end of the world. Food price going to go up like crazy, and you cannot eat, and then you're going to die, and all that nonsense lah. Okay. I hardly use any money to survive. My petrol bill is ringgit a week, and my food is just rice. Okay. I mean, now I have to buy a bit of veggie because someone cut my tree. But I was surviving on this most of the time. I tell you, you go and type out this in Google, I tell you it's the most healthy plant ever. Okay. Even United Nations recognize it, and then they ask all the African nations the poor African nation, you grow this one, you stop malnutrition immediately. Then African people said, I complain to the United Nations, hey, it's very bitter lah, how to eat this one. No, you just boil. They already did their research. They boil extra. It's still enough nutrients inside there. Okay, so the thing is that it grows naturally. It grows wild. The funny thing is, yesterday I was going, because I brought a plant from Kuching and to grow in my backyard. Hopefully it grows this time. Because so far I've been here so long, I tried it didn't grow. The soil here quite bad. So yesterday I just planted it outside there. So I was going to get some sticks, because the weather is so hot now. If you just put it outside in the ground, it's too hot. You dry up. So I put the black netting, give it some shade lah. So I had to get some sticks. And I was going. The neighbor from that side cut the tree. It grew back. He cut it a few times. I don't know why he don't want me to pluck the leaves. He cut it a few times, and now it's growing back. It's totally cut. It's growing back. Okay. So it's a very durable tree lah. You cut it, also it starts growing back. Okay. I'm telling you this because health is one of your topic. I'm very healthy, and I just played in the university basketball last night. Quite heavy basketball. One time I used to play in the basketball court next to the student quarters. Now they lock it crazy. Even I told my dean also said, how can this doesn't make sense? you can build a basketball court for sports and then you don't allow people to play. It doesn't make sense. Okay. So anyway, how I play is, in between building 7, building 8, there is a pathway, right? There's a mobile netball hoop. So I shoot hoops now. I must be 9 in a row. If say after number 5, number 6 didn't go in, okay, start from 0 again. I go from halfway court, run and shoot. Must be consecutive 9 in a row, and then I stop. Okay. Okay. In Kuching, I built my own hoop in my home. A lot of people I see in Cebu and Kuching also, they build hoop in their home, but they didn't put a netting. Useless. You don't put a netting around it. How can you'll be spending most of the time getting it from the drain next door. Okay, so I just put an L shape in my home in Kuching. I put a L netting, tree netting high, so you never go to the drain or neighbor's house. Okay, these are all important things. Like, you think it is small thing I'm telling you, but health is very, very important. I'm 57. I mean, I donate blood like 63 times already. One of the highest donor of Sarawak. Used to be every 3 months I donate, but now after COVID, I slow down lah. Okay, and my blood pressure. That's how I know, because I never go to the doctor. I know my blood pressure because I donate blood, and when I donate blood, the doctor have to put all that thing there, and then okay. And they always ask me, hey, how can you are 57 and how can your blood pressure 120/80? 120/80 is supposed to be young man athlete pressure. Okay. Okay, so this is, I'm eating like almost no money food, and I'm so healthy. Okay. But I'm telling you this because I heard a lot of news from worldwide. Food prices are going up like crazy. Okay. So some of you might think, this is bad and this is the end of the world. Food is going up like crazy, but you can still live like me. I actually never ride motorbike. I was motorbike rider long back. After Form 6 and all that, I ride motorbike, and I stopped riding motorbike. Yeah, Cisco, I used motorbike for a short while, and then I started using car in Kuching to go to work. So I never ride motorbike. I came to this Cebu house. This particular fan, they don't sell you complete. They sell you part here and there, and then you got to buy a screwdriver to fix it up. So I was in this house. So I asked my next door roommate, hey, I need to go buy a screwdriver. So I use my motorbike. Okay, I use his motorbike. I got lost because the first time in this house, about 40 minutes going around, I cannot find the house. So I started using motorbike for 40 minutes, and after that, I don't want to go back. Once you get back to motorbike from car, you don't want to go back to car, I tell you. It's so nice on motorbike. It's so cool, fresh air. I go to town. I don't sweat like in a car, and I can break most traffic rules. Okay. The car cannot go, but motorbike can go. Okay. So it's a very cheap way to live, and very healthy. Okay, so I think most of the money you spend on food is actually wasted rubbish food. So the McDonald's, KFC, spend tons of money, and then you don't get any health benefit. In fact, it makes you sick only. That's it. It's practically a medicine that gets you sick. Okay. I'm not only vegetarian. There are a lot of it. I'm Indian. My wife from India. I'm local, born here, but my wife from India, so I go to India once in a while. Most people in India are vegetarian. Here, if I go out to eat, very hard to find a guy. I've only right now pretty much 2 shops in Cebu where I can eat. I mean, I didn't search but it might be more. But when I go to India, you got a raw shop lot. All food shop. All I can eat. Only half of one is selling a bit of meat. Okay. All the rest of shop is vegetarian. Okay. So most of the Indians are vegetarian. Okay. And then you go to Pizza Hut. India also got Pizza Hut. Here, Pizza Hut I can eat. That's the one or two shop I can eat. Pizza Hut and one other shop in Cebu. So Pizza Hut in here, I can eat one veggie level. I can eat veggie level. All the rest cannot eat. Okay. Uh, in India, the Pizza Hut, all I can eat. Only one I cannot eat. Okay, terbalik. Okay. So I think these things are important lah. Okay. Okay, let me get back to this one. This calculation. You see, 24,000 in just one day. So this guy had to, the supervisor will call for OT, okay, for the next 3 days. So 3 days. Okay. So 3 days you call for OT. Okay. So how much is that? You see, the problem, you have to pay the money. Okay, I call that insignificant. You have to pay OT to him, is or her. Is I find that insignificant. The problem with new people, especially, they cause a lot of crash. How they cause a crash? Instead of putting the disk inside here, they put slightly out. And what happened? Crash. 168 disk is a big mess. Say one OT. OT means overtime, huh? Wait, I'll write it down. Okay, OT means overtime. So one OT, he caused 3 crashes in 3 days. That's very low. Right? Leave it at that. Okay. Okay. Okay, what's the cost of a 3 crash? Okay. One crash. One crash material cost is $300. $300. You have to pay attention because this will come out. Your assignment 1 is this one. Okay. And then your final exam also the same question will come up. Okay. So one crash is $300. Okay. But it costs 2 hours to refit the machine. 2 hours to refit the machine. Okay. Okay. So what is the cost of 2 hours? Okay. 2 hours. The same thing lah. Okay. 60 divided by 10 minutes per cycle times 168 times 2. Okay. Okay. So 60 is 1 hour times 168 times 2 hours is this many days. Okay. And one dish is $2 times $2. So American dollars 4032. Okay. 4032. Okay. And he caused 3 crashes. Putting it very lightly, say he's not too bad a worker. The new guy always cause crash. Okay. So times 3. Okay. 3 days. $12,096. Okay. There's 3 crash. 3 crash in 3 days. 12,096. Okay. So now what's total cost? Just now he already have 1 day. 1 day he cannot work, machine down because that guy injured finger is cost 24,000. Okay. Wait, let me check. Okay, so just now 24,000. So total. Okay. Okay. Total. This is 2,000. 3 crash in 3 days. Plus this one. That's 32,000. 36,000 USD. American dollars. $145,000. 50 ringgit go to hospital. Total costs $145,000. Okay. It can come to that much. I mean, sometimes you might say, okay, the machine that is he was working on, we get another person, but it's also dangerous to get another person. Well, another person cause crash is even worse. Okay. And how else can you reduce? If you're lucky to get a good guy to come for OT, then you don't get the crashes. Okay. But generally, crash are caused by new people. Okay. So I tell you a story. Later, the factory closed down in 2009, not because of economic problems. They closed down because of workers quarreled with the boss. Seriously. You don't hear this in the newspaper. I'm there, I know. What's the real story? I was there for 14 years from the very beginning when they started doing piling until the factory closed down. The factory closed down because the workers quarreled with the boss. So that's why next time you become boss, engineers are bosses there. You don't go and treat the workers badly. Okay. Yeah, humans just like you. It's just that you got an opportunity to study, they didn't get an opportunity, and that's it. Okay. I am the one who treat the workers the best all the time. One time we had a white man boss. He said, okay, you can be friendly, but you still need to give warning letters for the indiscipline. So I gave a lot of warning letters now because we are very strict. 1 minute late is warning letter. Okay. So 3 warning letter, you're out of factory. Okay. But I see a lot of senior engineers, they treat the workers quite badly. They even say, because we're the highest paying factory in probably in the whole Sarawak, our gaji is, our salary is very high. Okay. I have no complaint. The money that we make is very, very high. Every worker very happy. I'm the only one who drive a Proton Saga, the old Proton Saga, to work. The lowest level worker has Myvi, even Viva also they're not interested. They want Myvi. Okay. So because it's a very stable company, so everything is very good. But when they call for interview, the line is actually 1 kilometer long. 1 kilometer people trying to get in. So the engineers become very cocky. They tell the workers, hey, you don't want to do this. You see that line there, 1 kilometer long, just outside the factory. I can take any one of them and replace you. So that is actually a very bad statement to make the worker, especially a senior worker who don't cause crash. Because the new workers cause crash. I did a calculation. It's very expensive to get a new worker because the new worker cause crash. Yeah. And you calculate the cost of the crash. I heard it's 16 years of the new worker's salary to get the new worker to the level of the old worker. Okay. So it's very hard to get an experienced person actually, okay, to do the work correctly without crash. Okay. I mean, we pay people a normal Malaysian wages, but we had a sister factory in Japan doing exactly what we're doing in Kuching. They pay the workers 50,000 a year USD, and they still can make a profit. That is because we are very high tech. We make a lot of profit. So in Kuching, they make much more profit because our salary is lower. In Japan, they can pay the worker doing exactly what they're doing in Kuching, 50,000 USD per year, lah, but still a lot of money. Okay, 50,000 USD. 50,000 USD times 4, divide 12, 16,000 ringgit per month. Okay, so the Japanese factory, our sister factory, can pay 16,000 ringgit per month to the worker doing exactly what the worker in Kuching is doing. Okay, but Japan has their own advantages. You cannot look at salary as the only thing. Okay, Japan has close connection to all the vendors, so they can get the parts faster. That is all money also. You don't think salary is only money. Okay, the supply of chemicals and all that, the Japanese factory can get it faster than us. For example, Singapore, we had a sister factory in Singapore. So I met an engineer in that factory. No, it was not my company, but similar, Seagate. So he was working in Singapore, and he said, Singapore, they want a part, they can get that, they get the part next flight. Kuching on the part from US, I don't know about now, but that time it was like 2 months to wait for the part to arrive because custom here, custom there, all that. So Singapore has very high salary, but because of their efficiency in their customs and all that, they make up for it, much more than make up for it. Okay, they can pay the worker much more and still it's cheaper to operate in Singapore than in Malaysia because of their other efficiencies. Efficiency of their government, basically the port and all that. Okay, I think the port is not owned by the government anymore. I think they sold it off to a private company. Okay, but that's how it is. So advantage of a country is not necessarily the worker's salary. It can be the parts and all. The worker salary, if you look at the total worker salary versus total production cost, is quite low, probably about 20% only worker salary. The rest are all the material costs, especially for high tech. Okay, so that's how factories can be located in countries like Japan and Singapore and still be operated more efficiently than Malaysia or even cheaper countries where salary is even lower. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. I'll send you this, and you can use this data for your assignment. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So the apparent cost at 50 ringgit, medical bill, small cut in the finger. You cannot work. The boss cannot say you still work small, the cut, very small only. But the problem is that he used this hand to load the disc. The cut there, you will load. There's no way, every time you move your finger, the hole, the cut hole will get bigger and bigger. It's not practical at all. And then the chemical go in is even worse. Okay. So they just can't work. The boss will not allow him to work. Okay. So look at that. He just go to doctor, 50 ringgit. Doctor put a bandage. Maybe, even if you go to doctor also, just because the company requires that. Okay. You need to show, has some proof that you had an injury. Doctor approved that it is an injury. Okay. If not, probably that worker, tak payah pergi doctor also can lah. Okay. But he still go because it's a company rule. They need a proof. Okay, the document proof that he was really injured. If not, they blame the supervisor. Supervisor, why you let the guy go? Okay, it costs so much money. It costs 145,000 to let the guy go. But supervisor need a proof, so he will insist that the worker go to the doctor and get at least a medical certificate, so that supervisor can show the medical certificate as proof that he didn't do alang and let him go. Okay. You see, look at that. This is what I'm talking about. The apparent cost and the real cost. Okay. So I'll send you all this, but you have to put all this in your assignment 1. Okay. I'll give you another example next week. That's even worse. I think it might be worse. What happened is there was a contractor fixing pipes in the factory, in the same factory lah. Okay. And then normally he don't climb because he's a tauke. Okay, so he asked his worker to climb. People in Sarawak are very famous for climbing. I heard worldwide. You know that oil and gas are mostly IBANs worldwide. I'm serious. Because my brother is quite a big guy in oil and gas. He said you go to Russia, it's IBAN. You go to anywhere there's oil in Arab, it's all IBANs. Because IBAN, they know how to climb very well. That's one thing. And another thing is they don't claim for, they don't sue the company like that. If they get injured, they sue the company. A lot of IBAN, that's it, what to do. But let's say in the oil rigs, the oil rig, you can see the IBAN climbing. Not down the rig. I see that myself because I live near the airport in Kuching. So the airport in Kuching got funny structures. So every day I pass by the airport after work, I see them, or before work, I see them all climbing that. The structures there. I can see them. Okay. So they are quite brave workers lah. Okay. Okay. So the workers climb. So one day at 7 p.m., the manager of the factory, he called the contractor. Okay. You see your man did that one. Ceiling up there, leaking up. You can see. So the tauke himself climbed. Like he never climbed. And it's not a simple ceiling to here. It's double the height lah. Okay. So he climbed himself, and he fall down, died. Wow, that cost a factory a huge amount of money. I'm sure it's much more than this. Okay. Uh, uh, okay. Uh, because once someone dies, a special case, you have to call DOSH. They want to come on an exam 100%. Okay. Okay. So DOSH is the Department of Safety and Health. 100% government exam of Malaysia. I see some people reply for me end of the semester in exam of USA. Mana dah. Okay, they just call it by English name, but it is a Malaysian government department. Okay, certain government department in Malaysia use the English name. Okay, for example, the ALB. Okay, ALB is Atomic Energy Licensing Board of Malaysia. In Malay, it's Lembaga Pelaksanaan Tenaga Atom. But I handle radiation things for a long time, about 25 years, something like that. So I got a license now. So most of my time it was this one, but now they changed to English. Why the Malay change to English? You know, most of the government department in Malaysia that deals with the public or factories, because a lot of factories are owned by foreigners, they use the English word. Understand that? Okay. Don't give me of USA again, or England. DOSH is Malaysia. Okay. There is a Malay name, but mostly they themselves, even in their website, they call themselves DOSH. Okay. Department of Safety and Health. And this department take care of the uh, Occupational Safety and Health Act of Malaysia. Act means law. Okay. Act. The act means the law. Okay. So when someone die in any working place, you got to call DOSH. You got, I think, 24 hours to call DOSH. When you call DOSH, they will come and they'll shut down your factory. I told you how much things cost, right? One machine down, like that. Imagine the whole factory down. That's tons of money gone. One whole week they close down. They say you cannot work. You're unsafe because someone will die. Actually, in this case, I don't know if you hear the story from newspaper or whatever, they'll say that that guy died, and they said, lah. But the real story, you know what? You know, when we go to a factory, we got to put our street shoe in a, you see some American movie, the American students got a lock to open a locker, put their things inside there. So we have that kind of thing for our shoe. We put our shoe there and take a clean shoe, factory shoe, and work in the factory. That's workers like us. Okay. But for contractors, what they do is they put a shoe cover, kind of a plastic material shoe cover, okay, like a cloth material. Okay. It's very smooth, slippery. Okay. So one day we had a safety engineer. I hope you don't become safety engineer like that. It's a mistake to take someone straight from university to be a safety engineer. Because safety engineer should be someone in the factory a long time who knows all the process and understand what's going on. This person was straight from university. become safety engineer. Safety engineer are quite important now. They can make big decisions. So everyone have to wear, contractors, workers have to wear shoe cover. And then the ladder have a shoe, There's a ladder behind me. At the bottom of the ladder, there's a black color shoe. Okay, that's for friction. So the safety engineer said, hey, that one also is a shoe, need shoe cover. Put shoe cover. All contractors put wear shoe cover. But like I told you, the IBAN workers mostly can panjat. Shoe cover on the ladder also still can panjat, no problem. But the Tauke don't know how to do that. That's why he died. So the root cause of the accident is actually the shoe cover for the ladder. Okay, so you cannot be so black and white when you become a decision maker in a factory. You must see a lot of what action you decide can have a lot of consequences. Okay, so the root cause is the ladder. Like this ladder, this won't be enough to climb 2 stories high. They use the final ladder. So that one has shoe cover. That's a whole root cause of it. Of course, in the report of the factory, no, it's not the cause. The cause is the guy Tapada Raja. Okay, so that's what you will notice when you go to a factory. Of course, factory saying their on staff is the root cause of the accident is even worse for the factory. Okay, so they somehow avoid that. And there are a lot of lies like this that sometimes you have to put lies like that in companies because the cost is so high. You go and say, yeah, my safety engineer caused that problem. You got to spend millions of dollars for that. So they just lie. Okay. You notice this. When I first worked for Cisco, they put me in safety. And then my first job was to investigate a person climbed a tower and died, commit suicide actually. But I wrote a report, there's no fencing around the tower. But there's no fencing a lot of towers in Sarawak. So my boss can, hey, why you put this one? Make us look bad. Take that out. Okay, boss. Okay, you must be like that. I mean, because you're working there, right? You cannot make illogical statement that there's no fencing, that's why he died, because he actually committed suicide for sure. Okay, that kid, he climbed a tower, he wanted to die because he had issues in the family. The parents, the father is offshore Mirila, and the mother ran away from home somewhere, I don't know how. So he wanted to commit suicide. He's about Form 1 or Form 2, he just climbed out of the tower and died. But I put in my report that there's no fencing around that tower. But if you say like that, there's no fencing around a lot of towers in Sarawak. So all the towers need fencing. That's too expensive for Cisco. You see, you got to see the cost and consequences of all this. So you cannot write like that. The bottom line is you still got to work for a factory and the company need to make money and survive. Okay, but try to be as safe as possible. Okay. Okay, that's the whole idea. Okay. Okay, so when you write report, in case they put you as safety engineer when you first get a job, you must know all this thing. The priority is for the company. I mean, you can work within the cost of the company, but try to minimize the cost of the company, because the company is what end up giving you salary. So you need to be reasonable when you make a comment. Okay. Okay, it's time's up. I'll see you next week. I'll send you all this so you can use this to write your assignment. Okay.